In Overwatch, there are many different comps that come and go over time. Some are fun, others are overpowered, and most fall out of favour due to nerfs or the rise of another comp to counter it. However, one comp has managed to survive in different forms for many years as a fan favourite. It is the Dive comp. But what is Dive, how do you play it, and how do you counter it? My name is Siydo, and today on PressPlay Studios we'll be taking you through the basics of the Dive comp. Dive is a comp built around mobility. The idea is for the team to choose a single member of the enemy to collapse onto with their mobility and eliminate them before escaping danger. This puts the enemy team at a 5v6, and if the pick was a healer, as you'll often see, then the team is at an even greater disadvantage. Dive is a super aggressive strategy that uses the map geometry to its advantage and is very effective on certain maps while struggling on others. But who are the heroes of this comp? Tanks of choice in a Dive comp are Winston, D.Va, and Wrecking Ball. All of the tanks have high mobility and a similar playstyle, however their abilities offer different styles of dive. D.Va is the only off tank who fits into the dive meta, and her defense matrix can block all incoming damage, making it useful in a comp that lacks a true shield tank. She is also the best tank for peeling to protect healers, and the short cooldown on her rocket boosters allows for extremely high mobility. Winston is the main tank in most dive comps. His jump pack and Tesla cannon both deal heavy damage to grouped up enemies. His bubble shield also helps to protect his team in a short area, and his ult, Primal Rage, is very good at clearing points as well as securing picks if he gets a squishy target up against the wall. Wrecking Ball is the least played tank in a dive meta, however he is very self-sufficient and good at burning through enemy cooldowns. His mobility is tied, no pun intended, to his tether, which goes on a 6-second cooldown, and which helps the team get the ball rolling, pun intended, and secure picks. His pile driver can work in similar fashion to Winston's jump pack with dealing damage to an area, and he can go in solo and create space for his team to fight in. The healers of a dive comp are Lucio, Ana, and /or Zenyatta. Lucio is pretty self-evident with his speed boost and his sound barrier protection fitting really well with his highly mobile, highly aggressive comp. However, both Ana and Zenyatta are quite strange. Neither have movement abilities, and in fact mobility is an issue for both. Why not a healer such as Mercy or Moira, who have more movement abilities than Ana and Zenyatta? Well, this is because of their abilities that help the dive, namely the Discord Orb, which puts a 25% damage increase on a target, and the Bionade, which cuts off all healing to anyone hit by it. Both these abilities are very useful in the dive, as well as Ana's Nano, which can team up well with Genji's Dragon Blade for an easy team wipe. The DPS in a dive comp can be split into two separate categories, the divers and the anti-divers. The diving DPS include Genji, Tracer, Sombra, and occasionally a Doomfist. All have abilities that allow them to quickly pounce on a target and kill them quickly with a high burst damage. Sombra is a special case as she is less reliant on mobility, instead being able to scout out for a target and hack them to help the rest of the team collapse on top of them to secure the kill. The anti-dive characters include McCree, Mei, and Widowmaker. Both McCree and Mei have abilities that slow down or stun enemies, making them easy targets when a dive comes in, and Widow thrives on the squishy nature of many of the dive heroes. Dive has one big glaring weakness: stuns. Anti-dive DPS, as mentioned in the previous segment, like McCree and Mei, can shut down a dive in its tracks. Other heroes who have stuns or CC abilities can also help against the dive. Brigitte is a very strong anti-dive character thanks to her armor packs and her shield bash. Another way to counter dive is with another dive. When the enemy team dives in, they leave their own backline vulnerable, and a counter dive can be very effective in helping to pick and turn it into a 5v6 for yourself rather than the dive. And without any healers, the dive comp lacks sustain, meaning that it should be fairly easy to wipe after that. Dive comp is a popular strategy, and many players enjoy watching it being played at the highest level. So let me know, do you guys play dive, and did you enjoy this video discussing the dive comp? Thank you guys for watching, and that's a wrap.